Cosmos is snoring. The rest of the last sort of special event, whatever they're called. And now we are pretty far into the next one. I've got 4 hours left. But this is actually the farthest I've ever gotten into this particular simulation, and I'm very excited. Oh, it looks cool. I have actually just completed it, apparently. When united by a common goal, humanity is capable of great accomplishments. Missions like the James Webb Space Telescope enable the human spirit of curiosity to reach ever further into the cosmos. Nice, okay. I don't know what this does. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to reset it all. I want to read all the things because I can't believe I actually finished it. This is the first one of any of these that I've finished. But before I read it, I want to very quickly go over to Beyond, because in the last recording, I made interesting decisions about my priorities of upgrading. Why is this so zoomed in? And I think I am just gonna go ahead and rank up Vesta, which means, of course, that now this simulation is over, for now, until I restart the whole thing and upgrade it. But before I do that, I am going to just level up some random things that are close to leveling up so that I can try to get as many cards and bits of dark matter as I can. Also, I can rank that up, so that's cool. This is another one. I still have so much. I might as well try and see how much I can level up. Probably not enough. I'll do Titan. As well, and we'll see how much I can afford of this. Alright. And that's an achievement as well. Okay. Purple Rain. Titan is known for its precipitation and surface liquid, though they are not made of water like on Earth. Instead, Titan's rain is made of methane, and its lakes are filled with liquid hydrocarbon. Ooh, that's interesting. Something else here has not been clicked. Here it is. Okay. Going to Valhalla. Callisto is famous for its heavily cratered surface. The largest of these is a multi-ringed basin called Valhalla, which is more than 1,800 kilometers wide. This huge crater was the result of an impact that may have happened 4 billion years ago. Cool. All of these geeky facts are so fun. Let's see. Perfect. There's so many that I could try and level up. I might as well do this. I'm trying to do as much as I can with what I have currently. And I want to get this out of the way before I read all the other things, because I want to try to get this one restarted so I can start earning in it again, because I am going to have to deal with all of the different things going back to 0 and take me so long to restart. Okay. I need to start getting more dark matter because so many of these are... Alright, I'm out of Stardust a bit more than I was before. I might as well just upgrade the sun a lot. We'll see how much I can actually get it to with this, but there we go. Okay, good enough. I will restart it now. I have gotten all of those things I need, so here we go. I have identified an ice giant. So bright. Alright. We are back to the beginning. It always seems so much more eventful in this one than in Mesozoic, because just the sheer amount of work that goes into this one compared to that one. Ooh, that's new, I think. Alright, and I got constellation bits. That is interesting. Only one planet remains to visit. I will fight them on that. A cold, dark ice giant, the sun's most distant sentinel. Well, once we add this last world to our model, our collection of planets will be complete. Possibly. I mean, I fight that on several reasons. First of all, I fight it because I love Pluto, and I don't agree with this whole thing of Pluto not being a planet. I mean, I know technically it's not, but that doesn't mean I'm happy about it. And I also fight it because there are so many things beyond Neptune that are planet-ish or dwarf planet-ish, and there's evidence for what's theoretically called Planet 9, or could be called Planet 9.5 or 10, depending on opinions about Pluto or not Pluto, but if that's out there, then there is a large thing out there that is technically a planet, possibly, probably, that is definitely... I can rank up these. Okay. Yeah, but those things that could theoretically be out there are definitely making this incorrect, that there's only one other planet out there, because there could be others. If there are, they're very, very far out, but that doesn't mean they're not there. I'm already to Jupiter. Alright. There's so many things to upgrade, I just have to decide which one to go with. Okay, I've got things here. Alright. And I've actually gotten a fourth one here unlocked. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there's 2 options here now. Have there always been 2? I feel like that's new. Just gonna go with several different kinds of dark matter, I guess. I should check what I have to do here. Okay. Collect stardust. I have to collect a lot. It doesn't say specifically. Rank up Earth, Vesta, Uranus, Uranus again, Ganymede, Io, upgrade trait, cool, Moon, Saturn, Proteus, astronomy mission, rank up Neptune, Enceladus, Photo Triton, Uranus. I have already done astronomy mission. Okay, collect stardust. So much that it's not even showing me how much it needs to be. And then Europa again. Okay. Good to know. I will be working on those things. Okay. Earth, at least, is cheap. Ganymede is not. Uranus is not. So this is going to take a long time. But I didn't even have Vesta. That's not correct. Try to do as much with Vesta right now as I can. Somehow that was actually quite a lot. I need to do the moon a lot as well. I also have things to upgrade for that, so. Almost done leveling up the moon, which is, well, not almost done, but I'm more than halfway done with it, which means that once I upgrade another trait, I'll be doing pretty well on that particular goal. So that's fun, that's productive. Okay, this first collect Stardust is actually showing out of how much it needs now, so that's not too bad. This one is a ton though. But I'm sure once I get everything out that far anyway, it's gonna be earning a lot, hopefully by then. But this is still gonna take so long. Saturnite is cheaper than Callisto. That doesn't seem quite right, but okay. Also, I'm so close. I just need 2 Stardust and I can upgrade polar caps, but I can't right now, so unfortunately I will have to wait on that. But I can get Callisto now, and then soon I'll be able to get Saturn as well. Once I get Saturn, I'll go back to some of the other simulations. I should start prioritizing the things that are actually going to be used here, but honestly I kind of need to just get all of them earning as much as possible if I want this whole thing to be successful, because I need to earn so much Stardust, so the more Stardust each thing earns, the better. Still no progress bar there at all, just because of how much everything is. Oh, so close. I'm on the last one. There we go. Okay. Alright, I already finished one of them. Perfect. Yay! Oh, perfect. IO is doing things, and I have enough now that I can upgrade polar caps, which also has now finished that, which means I can go over and do moon things here. I still have a long way to go with that, but that is good progress. Okay, I will be going to this place now to get that done. Alright. Okay, I have to photo this guy. If I can find it this time, because the last time I was supposed to photograph something, I could not find the thing I was supposed to photograph. Which, maybe I was just looking at completely the wrong place. Why is it so hard to get the view direction that I want? That's not them. Those are them. Okay. Can I get out of camera mode? No, not that. Ah, help. stuck in this mode. Get out. Nope, still there. Ah, there we go. What the heck are they? Are they up there? Ah, there's one. Majestic. Perfect. Okay. Back to all of this stuff. Sauropoda. Getting so much mutagen. Okay, and I have things that I can upgrade, which is perfect here. 3 things that I could upgrade at once. That's very convenient. This is very satisfying. I can upgrade that one too. I can automate it perfect. I was just about to say I wish I could automate this because it would make life so much easier. But now it is. So we're good. Also, this is new. Also, because it's new, I should read it, which I will do in a second. I need to get on top of things. Okay, flippers. Like their Archosaur ancestors, plesiosaurs retained their 4-limbed structure. However, these legs evolved into broad, flat flippers that were used to propel their bodies through the water. Cool. And then this one that I read was gastroliths. A gastrolith is a rock or stone that is ingested by an animal and held inside their gastrointestinal tract to aid in the grinding of food for proper digestion. Did I read this one? I think I did. This one. Grasping hands, the long prehensile fingers of hands are able to grab and grasp objects, offering the creatures that have them a huge dexterity advantage. And then small bodies. Dinosaurs were small and fat. Dinosaurs that were small and fast were able to flee predators rather than fight them. Some become predators in their own right, feeding on smaller species, including early mammals. Alright. Be back to this one as well. I need to also go to primary quickly because I have a lot to get done here too. There's so much to do here. Okay, let's first get started on some upgrades for all of this wisdom light bulb stuff, because why not? This one's expensive, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. Engineering. Building machines and massive structures like pyramids and cities requires the ability to solve science and math precisely to solve problems. Early engineers like Hero of Alexander and Amenhotep of Egypt draw up schematics that will survive millennia. Alright, and then we have tribalism. Humans naturally organize themselves into tribes. Many other animals do this too, but humans bring community organization to a much more complex level. Alright. Illuminated manuscripts. The art of handcrafting picture books with fancy calligraphy, gilded pages, and colorful inks falls largely into the patient hands of religious scholars. The vellum and parchment tomes will preserve scripture, history, and lore for centuries. Alright. Movable type. Small blocks of Chinese or Korean characters in relief can be arranged in a box, coated with ink and pressed onto multiple pages in a row. Simply reuse the blocks to form the next page and the next. The age of publishing begins. Alright. Printing press. Asian typesetters use a revolving table to quickly crank out the first mass-produced books by hand. A century later, mechanized printing presses with metal blocks of type, including the famous Gutenberg press, will revolutionize the spread of ideas in Europe. Newspaper. Alright. Extra. The newspaper tells stories about what is happening around the world. Sports, current events, politics, things to click, and much more. All this and more in the next edition of The Evolution Times. Fireworks. Explosions aren't just for war and demolition. Using gunpowder and colored chemicals, we can create amazing pyrotechnic displays for our own entertainment. Paper money. When carrying around coins becomes too heavy, paper money comes in to fill our wallets more comfortably. And even now, that is getting to those moments replaced with pieces of plastic. Anyway. Organized religion. Our early myths and religions have become rules used to define our world. From shamans to priests, the structures of religion have become a dominant and powerful presence in society. Glasses. Glasses are curved, round lenses mounted in a frame over a person's eyes. They are used for vision correction. No more squinting. Feudalism. A powerful upper class owns the land, and peasants farm it. In Europe, feudalism requires serfs to pay homage and pledge fealty to nobles or a monarch. In Japan, a ruling warrior class of shoguns controls daimyo, feudal magnates who own most of the land. Alright, that is what I can afford of those guys now. What I can get for these, let's see, okay. Alligator, native only to the US and China, alligators have a broad snout and darker coloration than crocodiles. They live mostly in freshwater and have distinctive overheads. That's fascinating, but they're only native to those two places. You'd think they'd be native to neighboring places as well, but apparently not. Anyway, bioluminescence. Enzyme catalyst reactions in their cells enable some creatures to emit light from their bodies. Organisms that can do this include some species of insects, jellyfish, and fungi. It's very cool to see. Eye. Evolving from a humble pigment spot, the eyeball is a round jelly-like organ. It processes light into electrical signals that travel from our retina to our brain. These signals are turned into images, enabling us to see. Except I cannot see words right now, clearly. Okay. DNA replication. The basis for biological inheritance, DNA replicates by producing identical copies of existing DNA so that traits can be passed on from one organism to its offspring. Enzymes. To produce a reaction, you must first have a catalyst. Enzymes act as the trigger for biochemical reactions. They are necessary to kickstart the metabolic processes that sustain life. Hermaphroditism. Organisms with hermaphroditism have either a complete or partial set of both male and female reproductive systems. Animals with hermaphroditism include clownfish, earthworms, and snails. Limbless. Modern snakes have no limbs. However, some species have vestigial bones from hind limbs that may once have existed before receding. That's very cool. Long snout. The gharial is differentiated from crocodiles and alligators by their long, thin snout. Lined with many sharp teeth, the snout is especially adapted for catching fish. I have no idea if I pronounced that thing right. But fascinating. Okay. I've got one of those guys now. Don't you dare eat my turtles. My turtles are cuter. Gharials live mostly in the Indian subcontinent and are currently endangered animals. Their long, thin snouts make them easily differentiated from alligators or crocodiles. Alright. Mobile jaws. Snakes are able to swallow prey that are far larger than the snake's head. This is because their skulls contain extra joints, which allow them to open their mouths extremely wide. Alright. Phagocytic cell. Phagocytes, or white blood cells, are cells that have the ability to ingest other cells or harmful foreign particles and are essential for producing immunity to infectious or contaminating agents. Okay, ribosomes. Ribosomes are tiny particles that help to synthesize proteins and polypeptides in the cell. Sticky fingers. Geckos have adhesive pads on their feet that allow them to stick to surfaces. This ability is improved by higher humidity, but reduced when the gecko is submerged in water or on a material with low surface energy, such as Teflon. When I had a gecko, I had to spray water in its terrarium to keep it humid enough for it. And it would sometimes go up the walls. Anyway, geckos are small lizards that live in tropical and desert climates. They are notable for their distinctive vocalizations, lack of eyelids, and ability to stick to surfaces. They feed on insects and are usually nocturnal. Mine didn't have very many vocalizations. Anyway. Color changing. By shifting the distance between the pigments in their skin and the layer of guanine crystals beneath them, chameleons can change the wavelengths of light that hits them, altering the color of their epidermis. They're so cool. Chameleon. With long tongues and prehensile tails, chameleons are very unique lizards. Their eyes are capable of independent movement, giving them 360-degree vision. Some species are even able to change the color of their scales. My roommate had a chameleon. My former roommate. Alright. 3-layer skin for the flatworm. Unlike sponges and jellyfish, flatworms possess a layer of organized cells in between their outer membrane and the inner lining of their digestive space. Alright. These things are so interesting. That is that for right now. I need to get snake. Long, skinny, and limbless snakes are a family of carnivorous reptiles. They range in size from only a few centimeters to almost 7 meters in length. Alright then. Okay. I will... For some reason, this is very slow about scrolling, but I will get to the things that I need to get to here. Alright. All shapes and sizes. The largest lizard on Earth is the Komodo dragon, which can grow up to 3 meters long. The smallest lizard is the dwarf gecko, which at its largest is only 1.6 centimeters long. That is tiny. I want to see one of those. That sounds fascinating. Anyway, how's that for a miracle? One type of lizard, the green basilisk lizard, can walk on water. Their feet are specially shaped with extra surface area to help create air pockets underneath them, so when they run, they're able to stay afloat on the surface of the water. I feel like I've seen a video of that. The lizard, like, sprinting across water. I feel like I've seen that. Alright. I, for some reason, have had none of Age of Exploration. I should also do this. So many things to click on. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going with this for a bit. Okay. I should read this though. Pushing the boundaries of land and sea exploration, land and sea explorers open the globe to trade, colonialism, and an unprecedented exchange of knowledge and culture. Fighting the spread of disease remains a challenge. And I can click on more things here now. Okay. First things first. Habitat diversity. Common snakes can be found almost everywhere on Earth. Their ability to adapt to a multitude of different environments has allowed them to find ecological niches in just about every type of habitat. Then we have astrolabe. Ocean navigators rely on astronomy tools to determine time and latitude by calculating the position of celestial objects. Astrolabes work, but their multiple parts are so tricky to line up on the whole deck. Ship deck. Oh my gosh. Does anyone else who's watching this with me have ADHD? Do you experience that thing where when you try to read, sometimes your eyes go way faster than your mouth can keep up, and you cannot say what you're reading at all? Because that is happening to me right now. Alright. Sextant. Compact, simple, and more precise than astrolabes on rough seas, sextants become the navigation tool of choice in the 18th century. They can measure angles between any two objects, skyward or on land, guiding explorers ever farther around the globe. Microscope. About 1590, for the first time, we can see a tiny world that our eyes alone can't perceive. Microscopes with one or more lenses. Lenses imitate make objects appear larger, revealing bacteria, protozoa, living yeast, blood cells, and more. Okay. Magnetic compass. A freestanding needle made of iron or steel points to Earth's magnetic north pole from almost any place on the globe. When crossing uncharted land and sea, no maps or guides. Explorers rely on compasses to keep heading in the right direction. Heliocentrism. At the turn of the 16th century, mathematical models lay to rest the dogged belief that the universe revolves around Earth. Placing the sun at the center of the known cosmos is a leap forward, but it is just a start. This theory will be rigorously tested. Caravel. Explorers, traders, and pirates favor fast, versatile ships. Caravels have rounded bottoms and square sails for speed, and triangular sails for steering near shore. Portugal relies on early models to set up trading posts and forts along the African coast. Galleon. Long, sleek, and sturdy, these multi-deck sailing ships can carry tons of cargo across open ocean. Cheap to build, galleons convert easily into warships, becoming a mainstay of naval warfare by the late 16th century. Okay, banking. As international trade and markets grow, so does the need to handle large, complex financial transactions. Powerful banking families in Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, England, and other globe-trotting countries flourished. Alright. Global trade. With the ability to sail around the world, ships of exploration are soon followed by trading vessels. The race is on to transport goods between continents for profit. Global trading markets, jolted by booms and busts, create a world economy. Alright, and now we have scientific revolution. Okay. I'm gonna level this up a bit. Okay. As the European Renaissance came to a close, new ideas about math, biology, chemistry, physics, and astronomy changed the way we thought about the world. With the emergence of modern science, humans' intellectual progress as a species gets a sudden boost of speed. Alright. Optics. With new knowledge about physics, we discover the laws that govern the behavior and properties of light. Calculus. I feel like I've read this before, but I'll say it again. The mathematical study of continuous change. We learn how to calculate rates of change and are propelled into further discoveries about science, engineering, and economics. 3 laws of motion, discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. 1. Objects in motion stay in motion, and objects at rest stay at rest. 2. Acceleration is produced when a force acts on a mass. 3. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Law of gravity. Another Sir Isaac Newton discovery, all things with mass or energy are brought toward each other. This teaches us how weight is given to physical objects and how the tides work, as well as laying the groundwork for much of physics. Composition of light. We discovered the different elements that create light. Who knew that something we take for granted could be so obvious? Alright. Biology. The study of natural life and living organisms, we begin to understand how our own bodies work and those of the animals and plants around us. Pasteurization. French chemist Louis Pasteur discovered that boiling wine would kill the bacteria that caused it to go sour. When we apply this process to milk, we discover one of the most effective ways of rendering our food safe from bacterial infection. That is interesting. Okay. Slithering. Snakes get around by slithering, using their muscles to move gracefully and smoothly over the ground with an oscillating motion. Despite their lack of limbs, they can move quite fast. I encountered a rattlesnake like 4 feet away from me about a month ago when I was camping. A video of that trip, which does not look like a rattlesnake will be up a few days before this, but they are fast. That was the first time I'd actually seen a rattlesnake in person. It was very interesting. Anyway, steam engine, a new power source with promise for both transport and manufacturing. We're in the age of coal and steam. The Industrial Revolution is here. I guess I should look at that then. Oh, there are so many things here. Alright. Okay. The music got darker. Okay. Zipper, a fastener that uses interlocking teeth to bind the edges of open fabric. I feel like I've read that one before too. Morse code. Using this code of taps and clicks, we are able to transmit text over the newly invented telegraph, allowing us to send messages to each other over long distances almost instantaneously. Communication will never be the same. Telephone. No need to write a letter. Now we can ring up our friends, family, coworkers, and enemies and speak with them directly, whether they be in our neighborhoods or miles far away. Radio. Transmitter and receiver. With the right equipment and the use of radio waves, we can now send messages across miles. When it comes to mass communication and entertainment, we've entered a new era. Alright, there's a lot of things to unlock here. Okay. Loom. Making clothes can be difficult work, but now we can start weaving thread into cloth. Who knows, perhaps one day some machine loom will do the work for us. Foreshadowing. Light bulb. In ancient times, our lives were dictated by the passage of the sun. Candles could provide some light against the darkness. But with electric lighting, we can turn night into day, and more than ever before, we can control our own hours. I know I've read that one before. Factory, an industrial site or complex where workers manufacture goods. They are now able to process large amounts of materials and output products at a higher rate. I think I read that one too. Mechanical loom. Hey, what do you know? The machine loom is doing the work for us. Aha, I see what you did there. Textile creation is fully automated. Chemistry. The scientific study of atoms, elements, and molecules. Chemistry allows us to synthesize new compounds for the first time. We are inventing brand new substances with millions of uses. Colubridae. Most colubridae, or common snakes, are not venomous and are mostly harmless. They are found on every continent except Antarctica and a few islands such as Ireland. Ooh, I didn't know that Ireland doesn't have any snakes. That's interesting. Okay, so many more things to do. Morphine. No longer must we suffer through the pain of surgery. With morphine, we are able to anesthetize ourselves into bliss. Just don't take too much. This magic medicine is also one of the most addictive substances known to man. Okay. Phonograph. The phonograph allows users to record and replay sounds. Musicians, actors, and public speakers all marvel as their voices travel across the world without them. Photography. Before photography, the only way to capture an image was by painting or drawing it, but now new chemical processes allow us to snap a shot of an image quickly, and these images can last forever. Punch card. Using punched cards, information can now be stored and processed for later use, a common tool for political elections and census data. The punched card sets the stage for an even more powerful tool soon to come, the computer. Silent film. Yay! One step further than still photography, we can capture the image of objects in motion and replay it back for our entertainment. Sure, we can't record sound yet, but it's only a matter of time. Nice. Love that. Ah, there's more things here. Okay. Which one do I want to do? I can do both of these, actually. Tail regeneration. Skinks can lose their tails when threatened or stressed. The tail will drop off, allowing them to escape from predators that may have caught them and will regrow later. And then zebra. Wait, it's putting one there. Okay. Cool. Zebras. Horse-like ungulates with a distinctive black and white striped coat. Zebras are grazing animals found in eastern and southern Africa. They have never been fully domesticated. Some scientists theorize that their stripes may help to discourage biting insects. Alright. I spent longer in that part of the simulation than I was expecting to. But that's fine, because I can now get this. This is about to finish. Perfect. I have so much to level up again. This is one of them. No, it isn't. That one is not done yet. I will come back to that. Let me double check what I actually need to be focusing on here. Other than just getting, oh, it's kind of starting to show something there. A little bit, not very much. To the next one, then I will get this. We'll see how long that takes me. Also, I have to get Earth to eat. Take a while, but hopefully not too long. All right. Okay, that should be... I love ranking up Saturn because it gives so much Oh, perfect. Anyway, now that that's going, I will come back to that. This one never earns as much as I feel like it should. Okay. Okay. Back to this. Let's see how it's going. No, I can. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. I have a lot of things to read for this, so I'll just get started with these guys. So, James Webb Space Telescope, the latest and greatest space technology. Oh my gosh. Latest and greatest space telescope has the goal of photographing parts of the universe previously unseen by human beings. I cannot speak today. Christmas launch, heavily anticipated and anxiously awaited. The Christmas Day launch of the Webb telescope went off without a hitch. Nice. That is what we want to hear. Mirror array. Oh my gosh, that is hard to say. Which also rhymed unintentionally. The Webb telescope's most striking feature, this set of many gold-plated mirrors reflect the sun's light and enable us to photograph new corners of the universe. I am determined. Okay, that is from the other one. I am determined to be able to speak, kind of, maybe, possibly today. We'll see. Alright. I'm trying to read everything too fast. Okay. Some of these I read before when I did this particular simulation a while ago, but I'm gonna just read everything again, just so I don't miss anything. Okay. Look to the stars. We have always looked at the stars with wonder. Curiosity about the cosmos inspires astounding feats of human ingenuity and collaboration as we strive to see further and better than ever before. My dog Cosmos thinks it's interesting that I'm saying his name, even though I'm not talking to him. Alright. The earliest stargazers made their observations with nothing but the naked eye. Magnifying telescopes opened up whole new vistas, from simple handheld spyglasses to mountaintop observatories that can detect wavelengths invisible to humans. Cosmos, why are you growling? He's growling very, very, very quietly. Alright. Space telescope. Ground-based observatories have to contend with air and light pollution, satellites and orbital junk, and the atmosphere itself muddying the view. Rising above it all, telescopes in space get a much clearer picture. Origins. In 1946, astrophysicist Lehman made the first proposals for a telescope in space. He later collaborated with astronomer Nancy Grace Roman to develop the Hubble Space Telescope. I would like to point out that that is another female in science who no one gives credit to, because I know so many people have heard of Spitzer, but they haven't heard of Nancy Grace Roman. Just putting that out there. Okay, Hubble telescope. At its launch in 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope, named for astronomer Edwin Hubble, was the most powerful telescope ever built. Still in use today, it gave us some of our most iconic images of faraway galaxies and spectacular nebulas. Also on the topic of females in science not getting the credit they deserve. Hubble is who this is named after. Spitzer is male. This other person was female, but barely ever talked about. But then also, all the telescopes are named after male people. Anyway, repair mission. A flaw in Hubble's main mirror meant it couldn't resolve images properly at launch. After 3 years of fuzzy photos, NASA sent a crew to perform delicate orbital repairs in 1993. 4 other manned missions have since visited to service the telescope. Landmark discoveries. Hubble's observations have yielded many breakthroughs in astrophysics. They revealed new celestial objects, located black holes at the centers of galaxies, and helped determine the age of the universe. Okay. Distance from Earth. Unlike Hubble, Webb won't orbit Earth. Instead, it will orbit the Sun. Let me click this. It will orbit the Sun 1.5 million kilometers from home. This meant the launch had to go exactly as planned, since repairs will be impossible once the telescope is in space. Size comparison. The Webb telescope boasts a primary mirror over 6 times the size of Hubble's, yet thanks to advances in materials science over the intervening decades, it comes in at only half the mass. Technology. Alright. Hubble's successor. As Hubble grew older, astronomers recognized the need for a newer, more high-tech successor. By the way, they are talking about the telescope growing older, not the astronomer named Hubble that the telescope is named after. That is not worded super clearly in this. In 1996, the Next Generation Space Telescope project was conceived. It would be bigger, more powerful, and more advanced than its predecessor. James Webb Telescope. The Next Generation Space Telescope project gave birth to the James Webb Telescope, one of the most ambitious feats of astronomical engineering ever achieved. Improving on the foundations laid by Hubble, it introduced many significant innovations. Okay. James E. Webb. James E. Webb was NASA's administrator. NASA's administrator from 1961 to 1968 and oversaw the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs. He used his many political connections to successfully lobby for funding, resources, and support for the space program. Naming. Originally known as the Next Generation Space Telescope, the project was renamed to honor James E. Webb in 2002. Webb's leadership helped establish scientific research and innovation as core goals of NASA. Cleared name. Concerns were raised implicating James Webb in the Lavender Scare, a discriminatory purging of LGBT+ federal employees in the 1950s. When an investigation turned up no evidence of his direct involvement, NASA chose not to remove his name from the project. Alright. International collaboration. The Webb telescope wasn't created by NASA alone. The European Space Agency and the Canadian Space Agency both contributed funding, equipment, and launch facilities for the mission. Okay. Mission objectives. The Webb telescope has a number of ambitious goals on its to-do list. It will peer into black holes, search for new exoplanets, and look back to the beginnings of the universe. Mission length. I need to click this. Webb's mission is planned for at least 5 years. though it may be able to continue making observations for up to 10 years. It carries enough propellant to last 20 years in orbit, raising hopes for an active retirement. Alright. Budget. Initially budgeted at $1 billion, Webb's final price tag was a whopping $9.7 billion. Rigorous testing requirements and the need to keep up with advancing technology takes up the cost over time. Development. It took 25 years to complete the James Webb Telescope from its conception in 1996 to launch in 2021. Many new technologies needed to be invented along the way. An incredibly ambitious undertaking. It took vast amounts of money, labor, and time to get the job done. For it to only work 5 to 10 years after being constructed for 25 is insane. Okay, black holes. Black holes are one of the great enigmas of the cosmos. The Webb telescope will turn its gaze on the center of the Milky Way, where the enormous black hole Sagittarius A lies. Astronomers hope that Webb's advanced imaging abilities can begin to reveal its secrets. Galactic birth. Webb will study events from early in the universe's history when the first galaxies took shape. Astronomers have worrying theories about how this happened, and Webb's discoveries may finally be able to put the debate to rest. Now, seeking exoplanets. One of Webb's aims is to discover new planets outside our solar system called exoplanets. These alien biomes can teach us about how planets form, and we might even find worlds that resemble our own. Correct. Okay. Funding. Space missions. Did I click on this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Funding. Space missions have a history of going over budget. Costs are tough to predict for a unique, never-before-seen piece of equipment, and technological progress rarely comes cheap. Construction. The James Webb Telescope is one of a kind. A host of innovations like its infrared imaging and unique folding design make it the most powerful telescope ever built. Averted cancellation. The U.S. House of Representatives nearly canceled development. Oh my gosh, things to click. Nearly canceled development on the project in 2011, but backtracked after an international outcry. They settled for capping the budget at $8.8 billion, which was promptly exceeded by nearly $2 billion. Alright. The Webb telescope doesn't use visible light. Instead, it collects light at longer wavelengths in the infrared range. This lets it see objects dating back to the birth of the universe, 100 times fainter than those observed by Hubble. Microshutters. The Webb telescope has a much wider field of view than any of its predecessors. Instead of focusing on one thing at a time, a new microshutter technology developed just for Webb lets it observe hundreds of objects at once without repositioning. That's pretty cool. Dangerous heat. The Webb telescope needs to be kept extremely cold, or its own heat would overwhelm the sensitive infrared detectors. A huge kite-shaped shield blocks out the sun's rays and keeps the telescope at a chilly 50 Kelvin. Sun shield. Webb's tennis court-sized sun shield is a critical part of its mission. Each of the shield's 5 layers is made from aluminum and silicon-coated polyamide film and is as thin as a human hair. Wow. Delayed launch. Webb's launch was delayed many times. Setbacks during a tear in the sun shield, setbacks included a tear in the shield during a test launch, a significant redesign in 2005, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Alright. Launch. The James Webb Telescope's nail-biting launch from the Guyana Space Center in French Guiana was only the start of its journey. After the drama of liftoff, Webb settled in for a long commute to its destination and the careful process of unfolding in preparation for work. Ground support. Ground support for the Webb mission will be provided by the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland. The lab will distribute data gathered by the telescope and accept observation proposals from all over the world. That's cool. That's continuing the whole international science sharing knowledge kind of goal it was talking about earlier, with them getting funding from other countries as well. Okay. Christmas launch. The Webb telescope was originally planned to launch in 2007, but successive delays postponed it until December 25, 2021. The much-anticipated high-stakes Christmas Day launch was ultimately a success. NASA described it as flawless. Alright then. Okay. I find that funny because the way they described Curiosity's landing on Mars was literally, it's called 7 Minutes of Terror, and this is like, oh, it was flawless. Anyway. Hexagonal mirrors. Webb's impressive primary mirror spans 6.5 meters in diameter. An array of 18 smaller hexagons made of gold-plated beryllium. It resembles a shiny golden honeycomb. Journey to L2. The James Webb Telescope will orbit 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth at Lagrange Point 2. Lagrange points are spots where the forces of gravity from two bodies, in this case the Earth and the Sun, are perfectly balanced. Here the telescope can hold steady relative to Earth. That is convenient to do that. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it took tons of planning, so it's not really convenient because it had to be super precise, but it's convenient in terms of communicating with the telescope. Sunshield unfolding. It took 13 days for the Webb telescope to unfurl completely, the complex dance with many steps. The unfolding of the sunshield was a particularly tense moment, as there were problems with this phase in testing. Fortunately, it went off without a hitch. Okay, I take back my earlier statement about flawless. They got 13 days of terror instead of 7 minutes. Alright. Mirrors unfolding. The Webb telescope's mirror would have been too large to fit on any current launch vehicle in one piece, so its compact design uses smaller mirrors that unfold and fit together in space. Tiny mechanical motors shift minutely to perfectly focus each mirror segment. Oh my gosh, the technology in this thing is insane. Okay. Secondary mirrors. With the sunshield in place, the next step in Webb's deployment was unfolding the secondary mirror. This mirror, which sits behind the primary mirror, helps focus light and deliver a clear image. Primary mirrors. The gold mirrors in the optical telescope element collect light from far-off stars and galaxies. The bigger the mirrors, the more light they reflect, and the more detail the telescope can observe. And Webb's 6.5 meter array is one of the largest ever. Alright. Warm-up period. After settling in position, Webb won't start taking pictures right away. It needs at least 5 months to cool down enough for the infrared imaging to function. In the meantime, testing and calibration will keep the telescope busy. Wow, that's a lot of time to cool off. Alright. On July 11th, 2022, NASA and U.S. President Joe Biden presented the first ever James Webb Telescope image to the public. It was the deepest and most detailed picture of our universe to date, showcasing showcasing the galaxy cluster SMAC S0723, a truly a sight to behold. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I finished this whole simulation. I have been kind of working on it for the last couple of days, just having fun with it whenever I had a chance. But oh my gosh, that's so interesting. I feel like because of the timing of when this particular space telescope launched, I have had much less time to kind of keep up with it and follow along with it than I have for other things, for example, Curiosity. And so it's kind of sad because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know so much about this, and I wish I did. But oh well, I learned a lot from that, so that's pretty fun. I definitely want to try and keep up with it more. Being a double major kind of takes a lot of my time, plus all of my work I do for this channel and my other channel takes so much of my time that I can't keep up on all the things that I'm interested in, so hopefully I will be able to get to learn more about it. But that was so much fun to get to learn about it through this, so I'm not complaining. I had a lot of fun with that. This is the first time I've ever finished that particular simulation, but also the first time I finished any of the little short-term simulations, so that was really fun. I discovered what happens when you finish one, which is definitely new. But that was very cool. I have so many things to try and level up as much as I can. Just to try and get this started on earning as much as possible, because I know I'm gonna need it. I only need to rank up to 7. Still gonna be very expensive, but it's an improvement. I'll get there eventually. Callisto is very much not leveled up at all. Alright, Titan is to level 19. Okay. Cosmos is snoring very loudly behind me. Alright. Well, I've been playing this for a little while. I had so much fun. I've done so much reading. Even though sometimes my reading wasn't the best because, I don't know, I'm very high ADHD right now. But I had a ton of fun with this. It was so cool to learn out James Webb and finish this whole simulation on this part, and to finally restart Beyond in an upgraded version of the simulation, because oh my gosh, that one takes a very long time to be able to get through all the planets, and I know it's only gonna be more now with their whole last planet thing, which again I don't agree with, but I had a lot of fun playing this. I hope you enjoyed watching it, but for now I'm gonna leave this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!